Have you ever caught someone staring at you and wondered why? I did, and I found out the truth. It's going to shock you. Stick with me, and I'll tell you exactly what I discovered about how your family sees me. The way they look at me isn't just curiosity, it's something much deeper. You won't believe what I learned. The truth is so unexpected. It might change everything you thought you knew. I've been feeling it for a while now. The sideways glances, the whispers when they think I'm not listening. But now, I know the real reason why your family looks at me that way. Are you ready to hear it? You may think you know the reason behind their stares, but I guarantee you don't. What I learned has completely shifted how I view everything. Prepare yourself. This is going to be intense. It's more than just the way they look at me. It's something that goes deeper, something I finally uncovered. It'll leave you questioning everything you thought was true. What if everything you believed about the way your family sees me is wrong? I've uncovered a truth that might shock you. You won't see them the same way after this. The looks, the cold silence, it all meant something, but I had no idea what, until I found out the truth. And now, nothing feels the same. Let me tell you why. There's something strange in the air every time your family sees me. I couldn't figure it out until I did. What I discovered is bound to shake your perspective. Have you ever felt like someone is judging you silently? That's exactly how I felt around your family, but I finally cracked the code, and the truth is unbelievable. I kept wondering why your family treated me like this, but when I found out, it was more than just unsettling, it was heartbreaking. Stay with me as I share what I learned. You wouldn't believe what I discovered when I finally confronted the looks your family was giving me. It's far from what I expected, and it's going to make you rethink everything. The way your family looks at me has always made me uneasy, but when I found out the reason, it wasn't just shocking, it was a reality I had to face. Are you ready to hear the truth? Every glance, every judgment, they all started to make sense when I uncovered the real reason behind it. Trust me, what I learned will stir your emotions like nothing else. If you've ever wondered why your family looks at me that way, I've got answers. But beware, this truth is more than you're prepared for. I didn't want to believe it at first, but the truth hit me hard. The way your family looks at me, it's not what I thought at all. And I've got the shocking details to prove it. At first, I thought I was just imagining things, but the way your family looks at me, it's more than just discomfort. I found out the real reason, and it's going to leave you speechless. The truth about why your family looks at me that way is a mystery I've been dying to solve. I finally did. and what I found will blow your mind. Have you ever felt like an outsider in someone else's family? I did, and it haunted me until I discovered the real reason behind their stares. I know they're looking at me differently. The silence, the stares, it all pointed to something I had to uncover. Let me tell you what I found. What your family is really thinking when they look at me is something I never imagined. This discovery has opened my eyes to everything I didn't know. You think you know your family, but when I found out why they've been looking at me the way they do, it was like everything changed. The tension between us, the strange looks, they've been there all along. But it wasn't until I uncovered the truth that I realized just how deep it really goes. It's been haunting me for months, the way your family looks at me. But now I've cracked the mystery, and the truth is far more unsettling than I ever expected. The way your family stares, it's not just disapproval, it's something far more complicated. And now I finally know the reason. Prepare yourself. You've seen it too, the way your family looks at me. But what if I told you that their thoughts aren't as innocent as they seem? The truth is darker than you think. It took me a while to put the pieces together, but when I finally did, everything about your family's behavior clicked. The reason behind their looks is mind-blowing. The glances were always there, the tension, the silence. But it wasn't until I dug deeper that I realized just how serious things were. I thought I knew why your family looked at me the way they did. But when I learned the truth, it shattered everything I thought I knew about them. Every time your family looks at me, it feels like there's a secret they're hiding. I never thought I'd discover it, but now that I have, I can't unsee it. Have you ever been so sure of something only to find out you were wrong? That's exactly what happened when I uncovered the truth behind your family's stares. The way they look at me has always bothered me, but now that I know the truth, it's clear that nothing is as it seems. When I discovered why your family looks at me the way they do, it was like everything else fell into place. You won't believe what I found out. What if everything you thought you knew about your family was a lie? That's what I realized when I learned the truth about their strange looks. I was curious about why your family always gave me that look, but I never expected the answer to be this explosive. The truth will change everything. The looks from your family, what do they really mean? I thought I knew, but when I uncovered the truth, it hit me harder than I ever imagined. You might think you have all the answers, but when I discovered why your family looks at me that way, it shattered my perception of everything. Those glances, the silent judgment, it wasn't just in my head. The truth about why they look at me this way is something you'll never guess. The way your family looks at me is a story I never thought I'd uncover. But now that I know the truth, I can't pretend I didn't see it. I couldn't ignore it any longer, the way your family looks at me. But when I discovered the truth, it opened my eyes to a side of them I never knew existed. You've seen it, haven't you? The way they look at me, like I'm hiding something. Well, I found out what it is, and you won't believe it. The truth about why your family looks at me that way isn't just shocking, it's painful, and it changes everything you thought you knew about them. When I finally discovered why your family looks at me with such intensity, I couldn't believe it. The reality is far darker than I ever imagined. The awkward glances, the silent judgments. It's not what you think. I've uncovered the truth, and now I need to share it with you. I thought I was imagining the tension, but when I discovered the truth, I realized it was real, and now I can't ignore it any longer. There's a reason why your family looks at me the way they do. It's not just because of me, it's because of something much deeper, and I finally know what it is. You've noticed it too, haven't you? The way your family stares at me like they're trying to figure me out. I finally cracked the code, and what I found will leave you speechless. The silence in the room when your family looks at me isn't just uncomfortable, it's something else entirely. And now I know exactly what it means. What if the reason your family looks at me so strangely is because they're hiding a truth from you? I've uncovered the secret, and it's going to rock you. There's always been something off about the way your family looks at me. But when I found out the real reason, I couldn't believe it. It's more than I ever expected. You might not want to hear this, but the reason your family looks at me is more complicated than you think. When I uncovered the truth, it was a game changer. Every glance from your family felt like a warning, but I finally figured out what they were trying to tell me, and it's something you won't forget. The mystery behind why your family looks at me the way they do has been bothering me for a long time. I didn't expect to find the answer I did. The way your family stares isn't just about me. It's something bigger, deeper. And when I finally found out what it was, I couldn't stop thinking about it. The truth is darker than I ever imagined. The way your family looks at me, it's not just judgment. It's something far more personal, and I have the answers. What I found out about the way your family looks at me isn't just shocking, it's heartbreaking. Prepare yourself for the truth. You might not like what I'm about to tell you, but the truth about why your family looks at me will change everything. It's been a secret they've been keeping for years, the way they look at me. And now I finally know why. You won't believe it when I tell you. There's a reason why your family looks at me so strangely. I've uncovered it, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss what I found. The tension in the room when your family looks at me, it's been eating away at me. But when I uncovered the reason, everything changed. I didn't think it was a big deal at first, the way your family looks at me. But when I uncovered the truth, it left me questioning everything.